So here we have our clean oxtails. The water is nice and clear when you rinse it off. I just rinsed it off. The water is nice and clear. So once that, I'll just drain that, dry them off a little, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, here are the list of seasonings that I've used or I will be using on the oxtails. First I'll use the complete seasoning, which is complete seasoning has a little bit of everything in it, but you need to enhance that. So if you need you need some parsley in there, so a little bit of extra thyme in there, hot chili pepper, which is a powder, or cayenne powder, allspice. The allspice, these are the whole allspice, which I combined with coriander, and I ground them both together. So that's a mixture of coriander and allspice. I must have my dill weed. My dill weed is important to me. I just love the fragrance and the flavor of dill weed, so I use dill weed. My Vitsin is a Chinese meat tenderizer seasoning, which I use very little of. And also remember, you can make this your own. Whatever flavors you like, you can add in here, and just make it your flavor train. Make up your own flavor train. So with those flavors and a little heat, I just rub this up, massage this up. And make sure they're all covered. Now I'll do some fresh green seasoning. Let's have some garlic. About 4 or 5 fags of garlic. Half of an onion. Nice piece of ginger. Cilantro. Curly parsley, and of course, can't do anything without the fresh thyme. So here we go. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna cut and grate. I'm going to cut these up. I'll grate the onion, grate the garlic, grate the ginger, and then we'll incorporate that into the oxtail. Okay. One more fig. Alright. Once you do that, turn it all the way over. This little thing here, it's going to go through the holes and push the other stuff out of there. Yeah. It's just, I'm just like a technological freak. We're just going to grate some ginger in here. Once you grate the ginger in there, the onion is in there already. some bell peppers. I need to put some bell peppers in there. I'm going to get some red bell peppers and put those in there also. And then we're going to lock this down and marinate it for at least 24 hours. Okay, so I'll be back with the bell peppers and the ginger.
It goes with peas and rice.
Yeah, peas and rice.
A nice cookie.
Hello and welcome again to Chris's Caribbean Delights. And tonight I'm going to share with you another oxtail recipe, but this will be curried oxtail. Curried oxtail. So I'll show you a few steps. The oxtail, how you prepare it. You season your oxtail, wash, season, like I have done on the other videos. I'll leave that link there. And once you're seasoned and you're well seasoned, you'll sear it. But I'm going to be using my slow cooker, but I have it on the oven on the high temperature, and we'll sear these oxtails just to seal the juices in and to render some of the fat. So I'll put them in here into my slow cooker, and I'll turn that on to the oven setting and have them sear for about 10 minutes or so, and then I flip them over, and then I'll start to make the curry paste in order to cook them in, and they'll cook. Oxtail takes a while to cook, so we'll cook it for maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours to see how and then check our doneness to see if it's soft. So right now I'll just continue putting them in there, and I'll bring the oven up, bring the heat up to the high temperature, and we'll sear. I'll be back. So we started to sear, and we're going to leave it on one side for about maybe 10 minutes to let it get some color, and then we flip it over and let it render some of that fat out, and then we'll be good. So we're searing right now on high. And this is for the oxtail, the curried oxtail. So far I've seared on both sides, and I'm going to take them out of here, and then I'll make that the curry sauce, and I'll rest them back in there, and then they'll be ready for cooking on the slow cooker, So I'm just take these out and make that curry sauce. So here we are, guys. Now we're going to try to be able to do this curry paste. I have some oil in there, and that's going, and I put a little bit of salt and some bullion seasoning, bullion powder. I have 3 tablespoons of curry powder in there, and I have 1 tablespoon of paprika. I have 1 tablespoon of complete seasoning, and I have some garam masala and some turmeric. 1 tablespoon of garam masala, 1 tablespoon of turmeric. I have some dried thyme, or a teaspoon of dried thyme, and I have some garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And that's it for this. So we're going to give this a stir, and we'll get that curry paste going. So this is going to cook up for a little bit. Mix it all up, and then we'll add some water. Normally I'll add some chicken broth or something like that, but I don't have any chicken broth right now, so we'll go with some water. We just let this cook for maybe a minute or two. Then we're gonna cup and a half maybe of water, but I'll check it out and I'll put it in the description box below. And then I'll once that comes to a boil, it's simmering already, and I'll put the oxtails back in. Then we'll switch to our slow cook motion and continue. Let's put our oxtails back in. You may need to add a little more water in there because of the thyme, because it's going to be going for a few hours. I probably will have to add maybe another cup and a half of water. And then we'll add some potatoes towards the end once it's done. Yeah, so I'll bring the volume of the water up so that they can all be saturated. Okay. So there we are, prepping for some curried oxtail. I'll be back. Okay, so that curry paste is slamming. Oh my goodness, that sauce is so tasteful, so flavorful. It's awesome. So now it's coming up to a boil, and we come down here and move it from high, off, low, and we're going to do slow cook on high. Slow cook on high gives you 4 hours. Well, I will turn it down to 3. I just leave it at 3, and at an hour and a half I'll come back and check that, make sure that I have my tenderness, and I'm good to go. So we just put the lid on and set it and forget it. Okay guys, so here are the three items that I was preparing today. I was very focused on the jeera rice, which is this is the jeera rice here, and I was going to complement it with some curried oxtail, which is the curried oxtail right here. It took maybe about 3 hours to finish the curried oxtail because oxtail I did it in the slow cooker. So and then over here I did some dal, which is a split peas condiment.